Hi Sandrine, as you can see it's still daytime here. Kristen and I are sitting, we've been going through the videos and wanted to provide you with our feedback. I know you're going to get feedback from your external person, but we wanted to give a slightly different slant of an evaluation of what you've done, not from the perspective of assigning you a grade, but providing some feedback. And I particularly wanted to look at it from the perspective of how this functions within an educational setting, how you've been able to apply and describe both the foundational knowledge that you've gained, how you've been able to apply that foundational knowledge in your video to the work you've been doing and integrate it into things, how you've been able to really address the human dimension of what you do, especially how you interact with your team members, investing yourself within the team, and demonstrating what it is you've learned out of all of this. So those are the principles that I was sort of looking at this with. And I'm sure you are quite conscious of the fact that there were problems with the soundtrack. But to begin with, it was hard to hear, and then you clearly picked up on that, you fixed that, but then we were left with a very disconcerting disconnect between what you were saying and what the slides were projecting, which made it, for me personally, very difficult to follow. I was constantly wondering if you were going to catch up. And you actually never did, and at some point the slides ended and you were still talking, and then all of a sudden you were cut off. So if you were to do this again, I would suggest that you try and improve the photography and the videography a little bit, which would make it much easier to listen to and to learn to and to pick out some of these things. I think that you clearly demonstrate that you've picked up on the foundational knowledge of what we're doing through this course and how it's applied, and you've also sort of done some of the work of integrating that into how the foundational knowledge and the application of it is integrated into the implementation of programs. But I think in part because what you did was did a voiceover of slides and did a rather linear discussion of this is what we did in each module, you missed out on some of the things that make this more attractive, such as the human dimension of what you were doing, how some of that comes through in what your team does, and really what some of the learning has been for you in terms of how it relates to your past life and to your future. So again, if you were to do this again, I think you could think of some of those things and apply them into the video, even if you continue to do a voice over a PowerPoint. Although it would be really nice to have a picture of yourself to know who it is who's speaking. At this point, I'm going to hand over to Kristen.
And I'll echo a lot of what Malcolm said as well. I think that for me the sound was really difficult and it was tough to hear you at times. I did think you did a good overview of the topics from IH 743, and I really enjoyed when you said if I were to explain this to my grandfather. I think it was a really good way to think about presenting the topics.
Okay, so thanks for doing this. I hope you enjoy meeting with your person. I offhand forget who that is, but I hope that goes well, and see you on Tuesday. Bye.